Oh God. What is up, everybody? This fucking cat, bro. Stop. Brother. Stop. Did you miss me, friend? Did you miss me? Oh. Dude, last night's live was like really good. I kind of feel sorry for people who missed it, to be honest. It was a really good live last night. What's up, Arn? Hi. Hello. Hello, everyone. I just got home. I'm trying to get this cat to settle down a little bit. He always wants to be in my face when I come in the door. It takes forever to get him to kind of lay down. He's such a lush, dude. What's up, dude? Getting sick? No. Just keeping my voice down a little bit. My roommate's sleeping. Bilateral parallax creates a horizon illusion, thus creating the vanishing effect. Okay. There's a lot of things that make things disappear, but sure. Let's go with that. Let's add that to the list. And no, I'm not getting sick. I don't get sick, bro. I never get sick. I haven't had like an actual illness since I was a kid. I had ear infections in both ears when I was a kid. That was awful. But I was like maybe 13 at the oldest. Since then I don't get sick. I mean, I get like the sniffles, but my immune system's really good. I never get sick. I get once a year, like if the temperature drops, I get like stuffy nose and maybe like a cough for a few days, but that's not really a sickness. I mean, it is, but it's not. That's why I use Halo. I say hello. I say all kinds of things. What's up, angels? What's up, everybody? Thank you for sharing. You yourself don't get sick? Yeah, I never get sick, bro. I think it's like I don't really know much about it, but I leaned more towards like terrain theory as opposed to. Want me to just sit in the box and mute? I mean, if you're gonna come up here, bro, we might as well shoot shit. I don't mind. If you want to come up, dude, it surprises me every time I see you here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, what the hell is Caleb doing watching me? I mean, I kind of get it, but it's it's surreal. I want to tell you that, like, it's really surreal. Um, to have someone like it's kind of like watching. It's like having Michael Jordan watch you play basketball. That's kind of what it's like. Or like having Chopin watch you and listen to you play the piano, right? Like it's weird, bro. It's very surreal. I'm grateful. He said stop. Bring me up, kind of busy. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, last night's live was incredible, bro.
Yo, I'm gonna sit on mute for a bit, but I'll be here.
Okay, buddy. Last night's
I'm
live was
I'm taking a
incredible.
shower and stuff, but I'll try to bring some people in for you.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see if that works. We'll use you as bait. We'll like we'll draw in the globies, bro. Don't even remember when I was sick. How did how did I Are you sure you looked objectively south? Did you use a compass? Because normally, if you're wait, what are you? If you're talking about Sigma Octantis, normally when you're in a southern location, you don't look objectively south. You look like south southeast, south southwest, to my understanding. And I don't know. I believe the people that I know personally who have done it over some stranger in my comments that could just as easily be like copying and pasting that as a response, or as a talking point. Doesn't really hold a lot of weight, but you know what I mean? Dead south? Do you have like video evidence of that? Did you video yourself with a compass pointing objectively south, looking at Sigma Octantis? Did you video yourself for like 4 to 6 hours and watch Sigma Octantis move as well? Like, just curious. 4 years ago? Good luck in life, low key. Thanks, man. I know that's an insult, but I don't know. I mean, it's not really that insulting because it's all life is what you make it, buddy. You know. You watched my live for 100 minutes. That's incredible. 100 minutes. That's almost 101 minutes, guys. Let's bring this guy.
Hey, what's up, dude? Can you please debate my friend? He doesn't believe, bro. He doesn't believe in, bro. I'm a firm believer, bro. You trying to like convince him real quick? Yo,
Convince? No. But we can have a conversation.
Exactly. Yeah, bro.
Oh,
You got, bro. Hey, live, dude. Don't let me down, bro. You gotta convince him, bro, why the Earth is flat and not round. Here you go.
I don't like being given random arbitrary demands by a stranger.
And you know what? Honestly, in my opinion, because I'm his friend, and I think you guys are fucking retarded. Your brains are fucking flat. You think the Earth's flat? Your fucking brain's flat. Bob.
Okay, you got an angry friend, buddy. Why is he so mad? Why are you so angry, bro? Silly people. You live with that guy? Do you sleep with the door locked? I would. Fuck, man. I'd have like Looney Tunes locks on my door if I lived with that guy, you know what I mean? Where you just like lock 17 locks on your door. That's what my bedroom door would look like if I lived with your friend. Show who's intellectually smarter. Yeah, that was blatantly obvious. Dude, I'm not bringing you back up here, brother. You gotta compose yourself. You can go somewhere else and ask for, you know what, just message me, send me a DM, and I'll link you like some YouTube videos or something your friend can research in private on an island somewhere away from society, because he's hazardous to the public, bro. I don't trust him. Thanks for sharing, Luke. Appreciate it. Hold on, I'm trying to read the chat, bro. Damn. Flat Earthers use their own brains. Not reading the second half of that, but pretty sure everybody uses their own brain. That's like part of anatomy, you know? Is this a Flat Earth chat? Dude, you guys do not catch on very quick. It's insanity, brother. I don't get you guys. I really don't. Dudes like that are funny, little brains. Yeah, if your first response to something uncomfortable is to get angry, it is a sign of like low IQ. It's like what children do. You know what I mean? Children throw temper tantrums because they can't vocalize how they're feeling. They can't express themselves vocally. So they have to resort to throwing things or, you know, breaking stuff, screaming. That's childish. Like, not even just as an insult, like just psychologically. Like, if you can't compose yourself during a discussion, it's just because you never learned how to. Intellectually, you're a toddler, you know? It's pretty sad. Lame, yeah. You're surprised people like me exist? People exist, bro. I know maybe it's your first time on the internet, but people exist. Low emotional intelligence, yeah, that'll do it. Holy shit, it's Kilgore, bro. He wouldn't be here if Caleb wasn't here.
Hey, what's up, Soli? How you doing?
What's up, dude?
So, I was thinking about how water supposedly always finds its level, and I went down to the creek and I never saw it
Supposedly?
find a level. I never saw it get level once.
Was it perhaps running water, genius?
Never found its level.
You didn't answer my question. Was
Yeah,
it running water?
most creeks are running water.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine. That's why it didn't seek its level, because seek level water is specific to bodies of water that are at rest.
But all water is always moving.
What's the difference between fluid statics and fluid dynamics? Kilgore.
Tell me, enlighten us all. It seems like your expertise.
Well, I am making you look dumb because you didn't realize that creeks were in motion.
Of
I
course
mean,
I
that's
did.
pretty common sense, really. I
Oh, if
mean,
you just
you've
want to call
already.
names, that's kind of rude.
I didn't call you. What name did I call you?
You said I didn't have enough sense to know that a creek is running. I mean, come on now.
I said it was common sense.
Yeah, and of course I have it. I share that sense. I don't know why you would accuse me of
Do
not.
you? Because you thought running water would seek its level, which
It
is
will
like
never
that's
see
not.
what I'm declaring right here my theory that water never ever
You have a
finds a
theory?
level. Yeah, water never
So
finds a
fluid
level.
statics. So fluid statics just doesn't exist. That's your theory.
Now, what does fluid statics say?
That a large body of water at rest will always seek equilibrium.
Yet, if you wait for a month, it will evaporate away, won't it? So that level will actually be sinking just imperceptibly, even
That's
if it were perfectly
thermodynamics,
at
brother.
rest, which it can't
That's
be.
Are we going through the whole sixth grade science curriculum? That's thermodynamics. That's entropy.
Right, and it
That's
proves
that's
that water never found its level ever.
a transfer of energy proves that water is not seeking equilibrium.
Well, the very
Do you know
surface
that,
of the water
Kilgore, can
is
I interrupt
moving.
you? Can I interrupt you real quick? Did you know that a transfer of energy is also energy itself seeking equilibrium? Did you know that?
Well, that's an interesting but irrelevant point.
Is it?
Well, yeah.
Do you have something like of substance to add to this discussion before I let you go?
Yeah, I'm just glad I was able to prove that water never finds its level. And you all can't have that argument in flat Earth anymore.
Because of your anecdotal experience of trying to make a water in a creek seek level when it was in motion?
Show me where a water ever seeks level. It doesn't.
Fluid statics or hydrostatics is the branch of fluid mechanics studying fluids at rest where no relative motion exists between layers, resulting in zero shear stress and equilibrium. Do you know what
And that
equilibrium
doesn't
is,
show anything.
Kilgore?
Yeah, it doesn't exist in nature. In fact, we always have a chaotic surface on the water at a microscopic level. It's never at rest, ever.
If you pour
And
water
even
in a cup, what happens?
if you pour water
I
in
was
a
gonna
cup,
say that, but
it
this
will
is
evaporate
getting
over the
annoying.
next couple weeks.
It'll
And it will
evaporate.
never, yeah, it
Bruh.
will evaporate over the next
What
few
happens
weeks.
before it evaporates, Kilgore?
It has a microscopically chaotic surface that continues to move in Brownian motion.
So water's just exploding in a cup
no,
all
I
the
can
time?
show you. There's a great experiment where if you put a little
Where's my
pepper,
fucking vape, dude? I need nicotine if I'm gonna
yeah,
talk about water with a grown man
if you
on the
put
internet
pepper,
for
if
20
you put
minutes.
pepper on the surface of a water, that pepper will
A
never
water?
stop moving. Yeah,
Did you just say a water as if it was a singular and not a plural?
sorry, I must have misspoke.
You definitely did. I'm just getting the most out of this. I'm kind of milking you
Yeah,
for
you've never heard
content
of
at this point.
Brownian motion? It shows that the surface of water is never level and it continues to move. All you need is to put a little pepper in a cup of water that's completely still. That water will keep on moving that pepper around and it will never
But
stop.
is that water seeking equilibrium? Do things seek their lowest vibrational state in nature?
Usually they're in a chaotic state, which is
Do things, that's not what I asked you. Do things tend to seek their lowest vibrational state? This is classical physics, bro.
oh, are you talking about entropy?
I'm asking you a very simple question. Do things tend to seek their lowest vibrational state?
What things are we talking about?
All right.
Molecules? Being?
Can we get a block on that guy, maybe? I don't really want to talk to him anymore. He has Down syndrome. Like his whole goal is to just get under your skin and answer questions with questions and just feign ignorance and stupidity and try to project that onto his opponent as if you're the ignorant and stupid one. My guy thinks water is constantly exploding. What a silly man. Hey, kitty, calm down. That was ridiculous, brother. Or he just schooled me, did he?
I'll jump in when I can. I'm busy right now, but that was insane.
Yeah, that was horrible. And you're good, bro. You're good. Thank you for being here. What's up, Jules? You there, buddy? Jules, you done falling down the stairs there, buddy? You good?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey, great.
What's up, dude? You got evidence that the Earth's in motion?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
But I want to hear your perspective on it.
You want to
So,
hear my perspective on the Earth being in motion? I don't think it is in motion. I think it's in a state of rest.
yeah. But
Mhm.
I'm thinking the Earth is round.
Right, but
But
that's not what I asked you. Do you think that the Earth is in motion?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Why do you think it's moving?
Because at night you can look up at the sky and see it moving.
What if the
Either the
sky's
Earth is
moving?
moving or the sky is moving.
Yeah, that's relative motion. So without an independent frame of reference, how did you verify that the Earth was the object that was moving?
We have things now called like telescopes where you can look
that's
through
still
them.
not gonna, that's just gonna make you look at something and make it appear to be bigger. That's not going to,
Yeah.
that's not gonna give you an inertial reference frame, buddy. That's just a piece of glass. It's just
So
increasing your
either
optics.
So either one thing is standing still and thousands of objects are moving around it,
Well, on
or
your model, on what you
where
believe,
we
everything is in motion. I'm just saying that the Earth is still, and everything appears to revolve around us, east to west.
Tell him about Ares' failure, where we use telescopes to prove the Earth's not in motion.
Yeah, what happens if you fill a telescope with water, Jules?
why would you fill it with water?
I ask Ares. I forget his first name, but he did. He filled a
His name's
telescope with
George.
water, and George Ares. Thank you. And you measure when you have this thing called parallax, right? And when you observe a light in the sky through a telescope, you actually don't aim the telescope directly at the light. Did you know that? Like you
You aim
because
it
the
where you
way
want
that,
to look.
well, you aim it. I forget. He brought up Ares failure. I'm not, dude. It's been so long since I talked about a lot of this stuff. But the gist of it
There
is
are
that when you
different
fill a
types of telescopes.
telescope up with water, you don't have to adjust for the parallax anymore.
But you actually don't even need the stars. I mean, that's one thing. But have you
We
seen
just
clouds?
get rid of them. Have I seen
No, I mean,
clouds?
wait.
You think
Wait.
clouds are evidence that the Earth is in motion? Hold on, can we double back on that? Do you think evidence of the Earth moving is clouds?
No, the evidence that it's round is clouds.
Explain
before we
that
go
to me.
there, okay,
Hold
I can
on.
do that one quickly.
Yeah, I
So
need
if you're,
I need
have you
that.
ever been
Come here, cat.
Have you been in a flat field or on top of a building ever? On
Dude,
a
I've been
cloudy
all
day?
across the country.
So where are the clouds? Like if you look upward, are the clouds close to you or like high up?
From the top of a building?
Yeah,
How are you going to
they're pretty high.
prove that the Earth is curving using clouds? Why are you asking me questions when you have burden of proof to
Okay,
satisfy?
I
What are
wanna
you
ask you a
doing,
question.
brother?
If you
Yeah,
look off
that's
into the
because
distance,
it's your silly way of reasoning. Just reason like a normal adult.
we'll see if you follow. If you look off into the distance, you'll see clouds on the ground. Every
Wow.
time, regardless of wherever there are clouds, it'll look like they're on the ground, right?
What if that's
How
just
come?
convergence?
What do you mean convergence?
Did you know that
Is
we
it-
naturally observe things that way, regardless of the shape of the Earth? That's literally how your eyes observe light.
No, that's not how your eyes look.
No, convergence doesn't
No.
happen.
That's not convergence. You're
No?
saying
Then
that
what,
light is
like,
curved, but the Earth is flat, but light rays
no,
are slow.
I didn't say that light was curved. I said that we observe things appearing to converge. That would be like parallel lines, really, not curving ones.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, can I?
Uh,
Do you have any
no.
intellectual friends, like a brother? Maybe you could. I need to talk to somebody that doesn't ask me like you're trying to prove that the Earth is curving by looking at the clouds, bro. Like this is wouldn't like a geometric measurement of a physical drop off from a tangent be a more reasonable way to prove you're curving Earth? Like, why are we
No,
looking at the
no.
clouds? What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
You just said convergence, but you have no evidence and
I
nothing
have
to
no
prove
evidence
that
that
that can
curve.
happen.
Okay, so let's go back to the building that you put us in. When you're in a long
Mhm.
hallway, do the walls appear to converge in on each other?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because that's how your eyes absorb light. So if you just apply that same logic to every observation that you'll ever make for eternity, convergence definitely exists. So now we're back to square one. Do you have evidence
Or
that the
not
Earth has a
evidence.
physical
But
drop off from a tangent? What?
but what happens if you bring out a telescope and look at the convergence?
Telescopes are designed to replicate the human eye there, Jules. Gotta keep up. Do you have evidence
You
that
see
the Earth is
further.
physically curving before you pre-assume it in a begging the question fallacy and affirm the consequent?
Do you see further? If you're standing in a
What?
hallway and you look through a telescope, will you see further?
See farther? Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Yeah. And you will never
Oh,
see further. If you're looking at a point
really?
where the clouds meet the ground,
So,
you will
so we
never see
haven't been
further
able
than
to
that
zoom
point.
in long distances with high-powered optics like P1000s and such? Like, that's never happened?
Where the clouds meet the ground? No. You will never be able. You can go out and test it tomorrow.
We explained that using convergence.
Yeah, and when you use a
Dude,
telescope, you see
do you have
further.
evidence that
So the
the Earth
convergence
is
point
okay?
should be further,
Let
right?
me just shush, Jules. You're using too much sophistry, bro. It's hard to keep up. So
No,
this is called a
listen.
begging the. Oh,
So,
just shut up. Just don't make me press the button that prevents you from speaking. I don't want to do that to you, buddy. I want to have a nice conversation. So listen, if what you're okay, what you're doing is called a begging the question fallacy, right? You're saying that the clouds appear to drop, therefore the earth must be physically curving, but you haven't actually proven that the earth is curving. You're just pre-assuming that and begging the question, and then you're affirming the consequent by saying, look, the clouds do drop, therefore the earth is definitely curving. These two things always happen in tandem. It's always begging the question and then affirm the consequent, side by side. That's how you guys think. So before you assume, you need to prove, right? You have to prove that the earth is physically curving, and you can't use your observation where the earth is already pre-assumed to be curving as evidence of curvature. We need to physically prove that it is curving. And I
I
love
don't
how we
think I
went
don't
from
think
motion to curvature because you guys are terrified to discuss motion of earth. Like it's sad.
I don't think you heard what I said. The point where the clouds meet the ground,
All
if
right,
it is
Jules.
convergent,
No, that's okay. I'm not doing it again, buddy. We're not just gonna repeat the same argument that I told you was sophistry. That's not fun. I have one more guest. He just like goes full circle, brother. Just full circle. No other way, right? I want to try to get into a conversation about the Earth being in motion because they never want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about motion of Earth. They always want to talk about observations that they make where curvature of the Earth is pre-assumed and use that as an attempt to satisfy burden of proof. You can't get these guys to talk about motion of Earth in any sense. You can't get them to talk about tilt. You can't get them to talk about motion around the sun, the whole thing, right? To control you? I want to ask, why would they hide it? Brother, if you had 100 sheep, would you build a fence to keep those sheep in? And if you scale that up to 8 billion, like if you had 8 billion sheep, do you think maybe you'd have to put a perimeter up at some point to prevent those sheep from wandering off? If you wanted to control that population of sheep. You're the sheep in this analogy. We are the sheep. I'm no different than you in that regard. But this is where I watch you. I appreciate you, bro. It goes both ways, man. It goes both ways. The one thing I will say I have going for me is my eloquence, and I'm pretty good at making analogies. Eloquence and good vocabulary. Iron sharpens iron. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I wish Iron brought more guests into the live. People that there's so many people in my comments that are just talking shit. Like it's insane to me. What's up, Joe? You want to talk shit?
No.
Okay, that's good. I was hoping not. So, what do you want to talk about, buddy? Do you want to talk about the Earth moving or curving? What do you want to try to prove today?
The Earth got some curve to it. Earth is a globe.
Okay, so you're like you have a fetish for the Earth. That's brilliant.
Okay.
Do you No, you please provide evidence that the Earth is curving. That'd be great.
Well, science tells us that the larger something is, the more gravitationally centered it is, which makes it spherical. I mean, have you?
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't clouds turn into spheres?
Because there aren't thousands of miles in diameter. Mars is spherical. All the planets are spherical.
How do you know that Mars is spherical? How do you know that Mars is spherical?
Yeah, because we have pictures of it, and I've seen it through my telescope. So, yeah.
Mars. You've seen Mars in pictures? There's pictures of Mars.
Pictures, yeah, through my telescope. Yeah, all of it.
Really?
And
so which one of these is Mars? Hold on, just give me shh. Which one of these is Mars? Which one? Because they all look different. So I'm just trying to which one do you think is this Mars? This one over here? Is that Mars? Or is this Mars? Or is this Mars? Which one's Mars? This one that's split wide in half? This one got hit by Frieza. Dude, that's gotta be Mars.
You're a joke.
Hey, but I'm just asking you a question.
Why are you being mean to him, bro? He's just asking you a question.
He's asking me again, and he's not stopped talking about images that are clearly just simulations
all I did was
I have a
type Mars
telescope
into
too,
Google
Joe.
Images,
Well, what did you do with your telescope?
You've seen that Mars is spherical.
Yeah, seems like that. The Earth's flat, though.
Why would the Earth be flat?
Is this Mars?
Special.
Because it's special.
Yeah, you're the center of creation. You don't like that idea?
Why am I seeing Bruno Mars?
Because I was asking you which picture of Mars was real. I think these have more merit than the CGI photos that I got the first time around. And you're the one who said they didn't look good. All I did was type Mars into the internet, and I hit search. You could do the same thing. You reference these pictures, but when was the last time you looked at them with a critical lens? And you tried to discern which ones were real versus which ones are just representations or depictions. You know what I mean? I have the hard time trying to figure out why they're so different looking. That's what my question is.
So different. They're just simulations of different things. The first two were real pictures, but
were they? Why were the first two different then? The first two were objectively different. I'm still looking at them.
Okay, good. Anyway, why do you think the Earth is flat?
Well, it appears to be. It's the way that I've treated it since the day I was born. I've never experienced curvature, and I've never experienced motion. I've never seen the Earth curve. I've never felt it move. Long distance observation.
So you've never been in an airplane. You've never been in an airplane, and you never seen a solar eclipse or vents.
Attempt to poison the well mid-sentence. That was brilliant. And strawman me while you're at it. So do I get to talk and rebut or steel man my argument?
Go ahead.
I've been in a plane. It's flat.
I've never actually been in a plane, but air flight mechanics don't adjust for curvature of Earth, so it's really hard to say that.
Well, I mean, you can see the curve at certain heights.
Really? How high?
How high? Around 35 to 40,000, maybe even lower.
Maybe even lower? Because we have weather balloon footage of up to 120,000 feet where the horizon's flat. How do you explain that?
120,000 feet, are we serious?
Yeah, there's weather balloons go a lot higher than planes, genius.
Jesus. Give me an actual reason why the Earth is flat. Not that that's just what you felt.
Water always finds its level? All of human infrastructure negates. Okay, like listen, buddy. I'm gonna steel man my position, and you're going to listen
You
for
can
the
mute me.
second time around. I don't really want to have to do that, bro. You're an adult. You should be able to like demonstrate some patience when you're talking to a grown man on the internet.
Go ahead, stop insulting me.
Okay, buddy. So water always seeks its level. Earth's surface is 70% water. That's no news to anybody. Airplanes do not adjust for physical curvature of the Earth. Therefore, the Earth cannot be a sphere. Human infrastructure doesn't compensate for human infrastructure doesn't compensate for curvature. This includes pipelines, railroads, subway systems, bridges, tunnels. We build all of these things for dozens, if not hundreds of miles and completely negate the curvature of the Earth the entire time. So the Earth cannot be a sphere. Do you microwave frequency transmissions are line of sight? World record right now is over 800 miles. Like, do you have some evidence that the Earth is curving, or do you want to attack one of my talking points?
Well, the first one, not Earth. The water always finds itself level. That's because we are talking about a minuscule amount. We're not talking about thousands of miles.
70% is a minuscule amount?
No, you said water always finds itself level. I thought you were talking about something else. Explain
I
it
said
again.
right directly after that. I said makes up 70% of the Earth's surface, which would not be a minuscule amount. That would be over 50%.
Okay, I thought you were talking about something else. Well, that's silly because if you're talking about just what do you mean like that? What?
Well, explain to me how it's silly.
It's you can't see like crazy far as a human. Like you're not going to be able to see.
No, I'm not talking
the curve.
about. I'm not talking about seeing that. I'm talking about the natural fluid mechanics of water. Water always seeks equilibrium, whether it be in a cup. Have you ever been in a swimming pool where the surface of the water was curving? No, it's natural fluid statics, bro. Water seeks equilibrium when it's at rest, and everything is trying to seek a state of rest in its lowest vibrational state. So water is always seeking level. It's seeking equilibrium, which then makes up 70% of the Earth's surface. That cannot just suddenly transform into a ball because your fourth grade science teacher told you so. That doesn't match reality. We can't demonstrate that. We can't make water stick to a spinning water ball and put it in a vacuum. So why do you believe it? And why am I the silly one?
Well, because it's not the water that's made that like. How do I explain this to?
So what about airplanes then? Airplanes don't adjust for curvature. How can you explain that?
Airplane mechanics can't exactly. I'm just saying at certain heights, at certain points, it's very visible that there is a slight curvature.
What if
from that point.
perhaps you were looking through a curved piece of glass? You know, the windows on planes are typically built convex, right? So when you look through them, it's much like looking into a funhouse mirror. You get a distorted image. So what if that's simply what's happening? Because Caleb just said he's been on a plane and he did not see curvature. So really, I think it depends on the piece of glass that you're looking through. Depends on the optic.
Glass?
Yeah, it's called a window, bro. Keep up.
A piece of glass. You said piece of glass. Don't know.
Which are typically made of glass. Yeah, it's typically. Windows are typically made of glass. If we made windows out of brick, they wouldn't do their job quite as well.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I don't know. You said it's because of the piece of the type of piece of glass. That's the reason why you can see a slight curve. I don't know. I don't understand why. What does that have to do?
I just compared it to a funhouse mirror, brother. When you look at a funhouse mirror, do you see yourself like the way you would look, the way you would see yourself if you looked in your regular mirror in your bathroom?
Okay, I'm just confused why Earth is special. I want to go back to that. That is crazy.
Even in a heliocentric explanation, the Earth is special regardless. None of the other planets have oceans, trees, breathable atmospheres.
Well, because we're in the Goldilocks zone.
Oh, we're in the Goldilocks zone, so we live in a fairy tale.
We live in a fairy tale.
Is it too much for your ego to admit that maybe like you weren't told the truth about what you lived on?
Maybe you're just not looking deep into it enough. The Goldilocks zone.
Really? I don't know, dude. I feel like I've been like 5 steps ahead of you this entire discussion, and I'm not even like paying attention. I'm still scrolling through these fake images of Mars that you assume are real.
Okay, well, you seem really interested in Mars. That's good. Jupiter is round because of its size. Phobos.
How did you know? Wait, Jupiter is round because of its size. So if something is very big, that makes it a sphere.
Yes, in space, yes. If something is thousands and hundreds of thousands, that's why the sun is spherical. That is why, like, for example, Phobos, Mars's moon, is is very small for a moon, and that's why it is a very complex shape. Uh,
Repeat that. I'm sorry. I had and I didn't mean to not pay attention. I truthfully didn't. I got like a notification right there from the live. It's telling me I got to turn my camera on for some reason. Um, so I guess we're doing that, or I'll just flip the
Throw me in the big
camera.
box.
Okay. There we go. That'll help, I guess. It said the live visibility could get restricted from the FYP if I just put up a static image or something. I've never had that notification before. So what were you saying about fake space? What were you talking about?
I was just saying about space that one of Mars's moons, Phobos, is very
Do you know that
small
like
on a
all of these are I'm just gonna cut this
please.
at the bud, bro. Like all of these are begging the question fallacies. You're pre-assuming the shape of a distant star in the sky just to
Pre-assuming.
affirm the consequence. Just yeah, I'm definitely pre-assuming. You have no evidence of curvature or motion. Well, you have evidence of motion, but you have no evidence of curvature or physical. You don't even know if those things are physical. You're just making an observation, begging the question, affirming the consequent, including it into an all or nothing fallacy, and saying if all of those other lights in the sky are spheres, then we must be a sphere too, and the Earth must be sitting inside of a vacuum while it's hurtling around the sun. This is all begging the question, and like this is all sophistry, bro. So do you have evidence that the Earth actually is curving? Like, have you ever tried to measure the
Oh,
curvature of the Earth?
I don't get how you can call all this fake. I mean, that's just
I
you're being
didn't.
ignorant.
Well, the word "fake" was one word. I said a lot of words, but I did not use the word "fake," brother.
Fake
I said
space.
you were being. I said you were using sophistry. You're being
Fake
logically
space.
fallacious. I did say
Logically
fake space.
fallacious.
You're right.
You
Yeah,
bet
you're
you.
being logically fallacious. Yeah, you're not coming to logical. You're not deducing any of this logically. You're using a lot of irrational reasoning to get to your conclusions.
All right. So why, when you throw something in the air, why does it fall?
Typically because it's denser. What happens if you throw a helium balloon up in the air?
I couldn't tell you.
You don't know what happens if you let go of a helium balloon? You were number
No
6?
clue.
All right. I think maybe one in chat if I move on to the next guest. How do we feel about that, guys? Should I move on to the next guy?
Please move on
Do you
to
have
the next
anything?
guest. This is embarrassing.
He's tapping out himself. He's tapping out.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just admitted it was embarrassing for him. I agree. I agree,
I
brother.
mean, if someone's going to say they don't know what's going to happen to a helium balloon in the atmosphere, they probably need to go.
I'm amazed I was able to keep a straight face right there, to be honest. That was something else.
That's the goal, though, Soli. That's the goal. When I go live, that's the goal. They come in chill, they think they got it, whatever. And then by the end of it, they're saying straight delusional psychobabble.
Yo, he said it was silly. Like, what part of this is silly? You've never had a birthday? What's up, Patrick? That's my dad's name. Do you have evidence that the Earth is a sphere?
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have clicked you by accident, bro.
That's okay, buddy.
I'm-
We're gonna drop you. We'll bring somebody else up. We'll bring Dave up. He has flags in his name. He's a patriot.
Hello.
What's up? What's up, Dave? Do you want to try to
Hey.
prove that the Earth is curving or moving?
Well, first and foremost, can we keep everything in layman's terms first? Then also, I could personally say that I am not really an astronomer and scientist or whatnot, so I'm not able to provide to you every facts, because hence I use a facts based on what is
Yeah,
provided
that's
online.
completely
Can we
irrelevant. Do you
agree?
have evidence that the Earth is curving or moving, buddy?
My evidence that the Earth is a sphere is that it has been proven. There's science to back it up, and we have.
Pause.
Okay.
Pause. You can't just say it's been proven. I'm asking you for the proof, buddy. Who proved
What
it?
kind
How
of
did they
proof
do
are
it?
you looking for?
Measurement of a geometric horizon, an experiment that proves that the Earth is in motion, or an isolation of gravity as the cause for downward acceleration, or anything that
Okay,
actually definitively proves that we're in a
go with
vacuum breathing from a
first.
pressure.
Let's
Okay,
let's go with gravity. So
sure. We can prove that
I can
gravity
prove
is the
that
cause for
gravity
downward
exists. Yes,
No,
because
no,
when you
no.
throw an
Just,
object
just,
upward, it goes down.
You're, buddy. That's just affirming the consequent and begging the question. Do you have evidence that gravity is caused? I'm sorry, that downward acceleration is caused by gravity? Do you have evidence that gravity can be manipulated as an independent variable in an experiment?
So, first of all, gravity cannot be manipulated since we are not
Oh,
technically advanced enough as a species to be
s-
able to abuse it. And I'm sorry for
so if
that.
I,
But can I
you're
finish?
you're
Can I finish?
sorry
Can
for
I? Can
like,
I? Oh
uh,
yes, because I'm not, we're as a species we're not technologically advanced to be able to abuse gravity. That's why we don't have space
abuse,
stations outside being able to,
buddy.
have
What are
artificial
you
gravity.
talking
That's why it's
about?
only in
Okay.
movies.
Uh, oh,
Okay.
gravity
So
only exists in movies. Okay. All right.
no,
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 that's
no, no, no,
fine. I
no.
agree with that.
Don't twist my words. Don't twist my
I
words. I
just
said
repeated exactly what you said,
artificial.
like
I
verbatim.
said artificial gravity only exists in movies.
So do you
That's
have
what I
evidence
said.
that gravity can be manipulated and proven to be the cause for downward acceleration, or why did you bring it up? What are we talking
First of
about?
all, I do not have proof that gravity can be manipulated. However, I can prove that gravity does exist.
No, you can
Gravity
prove that
by
things fucking
definition,
fall,
gravity
dude.
by
Just
definition.
listen. Buddy, you
Oh my
talk
god.
too much. I'm gonna lose my patience with you, brother. You can
Solely,
prove that things fall.
earlier you talked.
You don't get to do that to me, bro. We're not on a first name basis, buddy. I just met you. You gotta relax. You can prove
Okay,
that
Joe,
things
I'm
fucking.
just going down since I can't have a good conversation with.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, brother. This guy is steamrolling and yapping. I don't know which one you're referring to, but I did the least amount of talking. Objectively. Couldn't even get a word in edgewise. Dave might be underage. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I attributed it to his accent, to be honest. Certainly not an English accent. He assumes everything in life. He proved nothing. Yeah, he's like, dude, things fall. Duh. Just affirm the consequent, and gravity's real. Just beg the question. Cogdis. Yeah, Cogdis. It's sad, brother. It's sad. A lot of Dunning-Kruger, man. People really want you as a flat earther to be the dumber party because that's the stereotype that they attribute to this, right? Their whole argument is an attack on a straw man. Not even just a straw manning your actual argument, but straw manning your character. Like, they just assume that you're an idiot and they attack an idiot version of you that does not actually exist, treat you like you're less than them. It's really, really just an entire straw man the entire way through, 100%. Like, nothing about it is a steel man of your argument or your character. In fact, I've often said that if they could steel man flat Earth, they wouldn't be globers. That's how you become a flat earther. Like, once you understand the flat Earth position, and even if you understand the globe Earth position, that's usually enough to make you question it. Like, if you fully understand it. But if you understand the flat Earth position, and then you compare it to the globe Earth position, it's a no-brainer. At least it should be. April Fool's Day? What? Okay, I see Chelly. I haven't seen you in a while, Chelly. But I do this thing where I only bring Globers up. I don't mean to just leave you down there in the requests, but I don't want to. I mean, I know I have Caleb on here, but I kind of look like a hypocrite, but he's kind of helping me out right now. My lives are like shadow banned, so when he's here, I have 120 viewers.
Let's
Typically on
go.
a yeah, thank you, brother. I on a good day I pull like 50 to 60. At least I used to, and then I stopped going live, and then like a bunch of reports and bans and stuff happened. So you're here because of Caleb. I don't blame you guys. I'm usually in Caleb's lives as well. Caleb is the homie. But I appreciate you guys following. Thank you for the gift.
No, he said he's here because of me, not for me, Saul. He's here for you and me.
Okay. I'm not used to all this attention. I'm great. Yeah, I have my perks. I've been doing this for a long time, dude. I've been a flat earther for a really long time, so honestly, I wish I don't know. Kind of want to open it up, like my live, to different topics sometimes, but I'm like, then I'd have to like learn about those topics in depth the way that I know about flat earth. and I think that's like, and I don't know. Talk about crepuscular rays. Why? I mean, proof of the local sun. Is that the direction we're going in? Globers say that they're parallel. You guys believe that? You guys believe that crepuscular rays are parallel? Like, here, I can type it in to Google. Give me a second. Typically, if you just type that into Google, you get all kinds of images. Oh, I do have a guest. Actually, you guys know what crepuscular rays look like. We're going to bring up Kev, if he's not a flat earther. I think I've seen this guy before, for real. Rob Skiba? Yeah, that's old school. What's up, Kev?
You alright?
What's up, man? Do you want to try to prove that the Earth is a water ball?
Nope.
You're a flat earther?
Nope.
Well, what the fuck are you doing there, buddy? What's the point? I don't
I
understand.
can at least give one example of the Earth in motion.
Brilliant. That's exactly what I want to talk about, actually. So I'd love to hear it. I can't wait. I'm bated breath, bro. You have my full
Okay.
attention.
I want you to say whatever you want first because I don't want to be interrupting
I don't
you.
want to say anything. I want you to prove that the Earth is in motion. I just said I was
Okay.
in bated breath.
In astrophysics and astronomy, we measure the distance to distant stars or galaxies by taking a radio telescope basically shot at one time of the year. So we're on one side of the orbit around the sun. And then 6 months later, we take another reading from the other side of the sun and then measure the
No, continue, please. I'll laugh later. I'm sorry.
okay, then we measure the angle, the theta of the triangle to do the distance to the faraway object, well, the faraway galaxy or star or whatever it is that we're measuring at the time.
Yeah. And that proves that the Earth is in motion. How?
Because it proves that it's in orbit. Because
How?
otherwise, if it was flat and stationary, you would get the measurement that would be exactly the same as the measurement you take in 6 months' time. There would be no significant angle difference.
So the sun would just cease to have an analemma?
No idea what that is, bud. Study astrophysics and astronomy, not whatever that is.
The analemma is the path that the sun takes, or appears to take when observed from Earth. That would be a part of like astronomy and astrology, bro. That would
I
actually
guess so.
be that would be like a fundamental day one, like
Yeah.
101 kind of thing
that
that you would learn. That wouldn't, yeah, that would be like if you didn't know that, you'd probably fail the class.
yeah, I guess that works if the Earth's not rotating and spinning. Like if the
Well,
sun's
it's all
flipping
about
and moving and
it's
not the
just
Earth.
relative. That's great. It's just relative motion. I like compare, like I have a whole Google Drive filled with geocentric quotes from well-known people that have been studying this a lot longer than you and I combined, probably. At least I've been doing this for like 10 years. I don't know how long you've been doing it, so at least that long, right? And the Earth could just as easily be geocentric, brother. It's because you don't have a unique reference frame. You don't have an inertial reference frame. So you don't have like a place where you can stand and observe all of this from a state of rest. So there's really no way to prove that the Earth is in motion or not in motion, but actually we can prove that it's not in motion if you just look into like Michelson-Morley, Michelson-Gale, Gale-Pearson, things like that. But I feel like maybe I don't know. I'm kind of lost here now. So you think that because we see a different sky or like different constellations every 6 months, that means that the Earth is in motion, correct?
No, I basically base my whole idea of it off because every once one side of the sun we take a measurement and then the other side of the sun we take another measurement and then we measure the angle
Yeah, that's
and
because
that's
of
how
the
we obtain the
analemma.
information. the
That's
data.
because of the NLEMA. The sun is either closer to the Tropic of Capricorn or the Tropic of Cancer, respectively.
But we're not
So
taking a measure of the
that's
sun, we're taking a measure of a distant galaxy.
Hold
it
on.
really
Do you care if I
wouldn't
add something,
matter.
Solly?
Please, yeah.
So, what you're measuring is parallax over a long period of time. In your model, yes, it would be the orbit of the Earth around the sun. In our model, it's just the motion of the fixed stars over the course of a year. So just because the sun and the stars aren't aligned like perfectly as far as their durations and their time lapses for the amount of time that they complete in orbit, the stars are, I believe, 4 minutes and 3 minutes 57 seconds, something like that. But it's
Yeah.
essentially just that slow motion of the stars over the course of a year and then being displaced.
Okay.
Which
Why
also,
would the
like,
stars be
can I add
moving
to
in a
that?
flat
Can
Earth
I?
model?
Well, we can get on that, but I want to touch on what Caleb just said. If the sidereal day is roughly 4 minutes slower than the solar day, meaning if you were to measure how long it takes the sun to travel, it takes 24 hours. If you're measuring the stars traveling, it takes 23 hours 56 minutes roughly, right? If the sidereal day, the stars moving, is slower, that means that it actually disproves distance, pre-assumed distance. Do you understand what I mean by that?
No.
Well, if they're okay, I don't know, man. This is too
Like
difficult,
when you
bro.
study cosmology and like astronomy,
What
you
what
don't
what level
really
of
like.
studying have you done into cosmology, brother? Like, let's just be blunt. You didn't know what an analemma is. I feel like you watch TikTok videos and you're like,
I
yo,
do
the Earth's a
not.
ball. Okay.
Right, Daniel Berman's Cosmology, Modern Cosmology
Okay.
textbook.
Okay.
So yeah, studying that. Also, Modern Cosmology by Scott Doddleson. That's third
Okay,
edition.
just like I could name books too, brother. But this doesn't, like, your arguments don't even seem like they're coming from those books, or like it seems like you have like a very elementary level understanding of what you're actually reading, and that's
No,
not to be disrespectful,
it's
but
kind of like interesting to not argue the
are
point too
you
much with you,
familiar?
because otherwise you're just
Okay.
going to get angry, and you
I
know,
don't
because
remember
that's your
demonstrating.
character. So
I don't remember demonstrating anger. Are you
for the
familiar with
last
the
three guests,
Copernic?
you've demonstrated that over and over again.
One in chat, if I've been angry, two in chat if he's just talking because he's angry himself and he's
That's your
projecting.
sound. That's your echo chamber,
Okay.
my friend.
Now there's 130 people in here. Half of them are on your side, buddy. I need to be able to ask you a question, so I'm just going to mute you while I do that. Are you familiar with the Copernican principle? You can unmute. I wanna have a decent conversation with you, brother. You follow me? That's adorable. This guy follows me, guys. And he's on my live calling me mad. Can you unmute, buddy? Can you tell me what the Copernican principle is? If you have to Google it, that's fine. Just let me know that you have to Google it. Just because if we're going to talk about cosmology, like, are you familiar with the Hubble constant? Do you know the cosmological constant? Are you familiar with the horizon problem or the flatness problem? Do you know about Hubble tension?
Yep.
What's Hubble tension?
It's the difference between redshift, between what's actually observed between different galaxies, and the difference between them. Hubble says that it's supposed to be exactly something, and Hubble tension is the difference between
How far is it off by?
Oh, I don't quite know. It's not a
10
huge
to a
amount.
factor.
I mean, it's
enormous.
it's
Actually,
enough.
It's mind-bogglingly. Okay,
It's
no, it's a lot.
enough.
I'm gonna give you the answer, brother. It's 10 to a factor of 120. And that's a phenomenon known as Hubble
Why
tension, because the
waste your time doing
cosmological
this? Like, why not go to uni and do cosmology?
buddy, you're on my panel asking me why I'm wasting my time. So if you just want to be a hypocrite, like we can do that some other time. Like I'm not gonna. Okay, run away. That's brilliant. Good job, buddy. You really got a lot of people in here in support of the globe now, I'm sure. What's up, Med?
Yo, bro, what's going on?
What's up, buddy? So, do you want to try to prove that the Earth is a water ball in a vacuum?
I guess I could go on this long tangent, but do
I
we
would hope
believe
not.
in yeah, do we believe in the technology used by meteorologists to show that you know, to
Like weather
understand
tech?
or meteorologists, the
Like
technology
weather
they use?
tech?
Yeah.
Like weather tech? Do I
Mm.
believe in weather technology? Yeah,
Well,
I
they
mean
use
that's not something that
satellites.
not necessarily.
Mm,
We use a variety of factors. Or a variety of things. We use weather balloons mostly
yeah, but
to determine weather. That's
right,
why they're
but
called weather balloons.
right, but weather balloons only go to what 100,000 feet, right?
Yeah,
And
our
then
atmosphere doesn't go much farther beyond that. Like 250 miles. They're about 270, I think, is the Kármán line.
yeah,
Really,
but
most of the satellites are alleged to be even farther than that, so we wouldn't really
right.
get any atmospheric data from those anyway if they did exist.
Well,
So
the other thing is that, you know, a lot of our, like you said, our atmosphere is around there. Because a lot of the weather is happening around 100,000 feet, therefore, you know, it could be an error for the weather balloons. Also, with weather balloons, they have built-in parachutes, right? Because they don't stay up there, right? Because helium is how weather balloons, they come back down. So for us to understand how hurricanes
right.
move, right? We use satellites to understand like hurricanes move a certain way above the equator, but versus below the equator, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've used that technology to even for Hurricane Katrina, right? Like people were like, "Oh, Hurricane Katrina is moving this way on
I
the
think
globe."
you would enjoy looking into what is that? Magnetohydrodynamics? Do I have that right? I'm pretty sure.
Magnetic hydrodynamics.
Magnetohydrodynamics. I could maybe type that into Google. Because that's actually what they postulate now, as opposed to anything like it wouldn't be like Coriolis, if that's what you're thinking.
Mm.
Study of magnetic properties and behavior of electrically conducting fluids, such as plasmas, liquid metals, and salt water. Yeah.
Okay.
Magnetohydrodynamics, all one word. There's a good video on YouTube. I don't know if I'd be able to find it at this moment, but if you put water in a petri dish and then
Mm.
you have like a magnetic field within there,
Mm.
you put pepper in there, it'll start to spin in opposite directions,
Oh,
much like we
okay.
experience here on Earth.
It's kind
So
of like
it's
talking
like,
about the Lorentz force too, and essentially just
yeah,
like fluids and how they interact with magnetic fields. That's understandable.
yeah.
But I mean, at the same
Because
time,
we have an
like
electromagnetic field on Earth, right?
100%. But even with that being said, there's a reason why that hurricanes move the way they do. You know, dependent to the area they're at.
Can I add an opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, it's the sun. So the sun stays relatively close to the equator, and as the sun moves over the Earth, it obviously is introducing temperature, which introduces wind. It introduces dynamic movement in the atmosphere, which would deflect from the path. So it'll deflect in from towards the north and deflect out towards the south.
So with that data, right? So it's like, what would you constitute as the equator on the flat Earth model? Is that like a particular line or longitude or
Yeah, it's
altitude?
zero latitude.
Okay.
Why would it change? That's what the
Well,
equator is. It's just zero latitude.
right. Well, also when he was saying with the sun, understand that, you know, sun allows it for, you know, weather change and stuff like that. The sun doesn't move or I'm sorry, it changes shape right? When it moves closer to the Earth versus when it moves away from the Earth. Am I understanding that right?
Changes shape.
Well, you're saying that like the sun gets closer to the Earth and then it moves
Why
away
would?
from the Earth.
When did I say the sun gets closer to the Earth?
No, no, I'm sorry. I think it was Caleb. He was saying it. It was saying like because of the weather changes because of the sun's
No, it
movement
would.
towards.
No, the sun moves and it
Mhm.
affects the weather. I believe that's in a nutshell his argument.
But how
The
would
sun
that
moves
cause
over the Earth. Over the Earth. It moves in an analemma between the tropics once a year.
right? But how would
That's
that
measurable.
cause different movements of hurricanes
I'm
depending on the?
I'm not familiar with what he was postulating, but I understood the gist of his argument.
Got you. And then the other one before I leave is Archimedes' principle, buoyancy, Bernoulli's principle, things of that nature.
Yeah.
If I was to calculate a ball, right, with a given density, and I was able to use the buoyancy formula, if I use gravity in that formula, I am allowed to figure out the buoyancy and thus the floating of the ball, right? If I don't equate gravity into that equation, it doesn't allow me to figure out if I can sink or swim.
What? You're just
So
accounting for downward acceleration, 9.81.
right, so
That's Archimedes in principle with the incorporation of downward acceleration. That's all that is.
right, 100%, but that's weight
Yeah.
versus mass,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like weight is
So
different from mass. So something can have mass
yeah.
but have well, that's what I'm saying. Weight is the disturbance of mass with that negative 9.8 meters per second, right? So then it's like you are equating the fact that there is gravity
I'm
inside
not.
of that.
No. Slow down. We're equating a. We're including an equation that gives us a measurable downward acceleration rate. That does not prove cause, brother.
Well, what is that? Well,
You prove the effect of downward acceleration. You don't prove cause.
why do we use it? I guess we should say. What's the point of using that constant if it's
Because it's
just
relatively accurate.
so it is accurate? So
But you
if we
haven't. I'm not. Okay, let's just clear the air real quick. I don't disagree that things accelerate towards the Earth at 9.81 meters per second squared
okay,
on average, right? I don't
got
disagree
you.
with that. I disagree with what you claim to be the cause of that.
I
You would have
see.
burden of proof, right? Like
I
you have
s-
to you have to verify that gravity is pulling things towards the Earth, or that the space and the fabric of space and time is bending and warping to cause a gravity well to cause things to accelerate into that
well,
at that rate of 9.81 meters per second squared here on Earth.
right, but then it's also like I'm not sure what to postulate that specific claim of what it's called, but essentially like if we know that mitochondria are a thing, right? And that they
What the fuck
function
are we talking about botany
well
for,
well I'm just explaining that the fact of like because things
brother?
exist and we don't know how to explain it doesn't mean it's not real. Like just
No,
because
no, no, no,
even
no.
if we don't have a
That's not my point. That's not my point. That's a false equivalence fallacy.
okay.
Sorry, notification. Your claim is that gravity causes things to accelerate towards the Earth, regardless of it
Mhm,
being a push or a pull, right?
mhm.
You have burden of proof. You can't just opt out of that. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be like, no, it's gravity, and handwave dismiss everything else. Like you
Oh, you're
have to
saying
satisfy burden of proof. Like you have to. Can you isolate gravity and prove that it's the cause for downward acceleration, or do you just believe it to be
I mean
because you
and
were told that?
well, what's your thoughts on vacuums? Like that whole spiel.
What about them?
So like the whole study or not study but test that people did where they use
The
vacuums
bowling
and
ball
they
and the feather?
yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
air resistance, buddy. No shit.
But
That
even if you
doesn't
have
it's on Earth, bro. Like
but you're taking out the atmosphere, so obviously there's no air change. The fact that they're two different weights, like one is like 2 grams versus a huge 10 gram or 10 kg bowling ball. You think air resistance affects that much?
Yeah,
You think so?
significantly.
Okay, so
And
why does
what
a
is what are
plane?
those what are those well, slow down. What you dude, you're stay on a topic. What is the fundamental, like on a fundamental intrinsic level, what makes mass?
What makes mass?
Yeah.
I could say density per volume.
Duh, that's just a formula. But on the
Well,
smallest
yeah.
level, brother, on the smallest level, what makes mass?
I guess go atoms.
Okay. Atoms bond together, strong and weak nuclear, electromagnetic forces. They're intrinsically electrostatic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that we have an electric bias in the atmosphere? There's an
Yeah.
electric gradient.
Are you saying that the Earth is like negatively charged?
I'm not saying it. Well, I hadn't gotten to the point where I said that yet, but that's not debatable. That's measurably true. And
I
it's
don't.
negative up
I
to
was just
400. I think it's like either 40 or 400,000 coulombs.
yeah for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine, man.
No, it's
Right? Metric fine, man.
400,000.
Oh, my
Is
bad.
it? Okay, good. I wanted to say that. Whatever. Semantics, really. Negative charge, positively charged atmosphere. Positive seeks negative. That would account for a downward bias. Now, density and buoyancy just kind of sort out the rest. You know what I mean? Like, if something's
Well,
denser than the medium that it's in, it's not going to
mhm.
float. That's just
R-
common sense.
right, but I think it's like equating the fact that there is the downward force that is always there. Like even for Bernoulli's principle and like flight, right? Like planes are flying in the air, but planes weigh so much. How are they doing that? And it's like in order to calculate
Lift.
for that, yeah, but lift equates to gravity. Like lift literally talks about gravity in that.
Lift equates to 9.81 meters per second squared, which I've given you on a silver platter, just like I give to every other glober that wants to debate this topic with a fundamental understanding of the discussion, right? Like, it's
Right.
a downward acceleration rate. That's it. It's just measuring how fast things fall.
Right, but
That's
it's also saying that,
that's not proving cause, brother. That doesn't prove cause.
well, I guess
This is
I know it's a little bit of semantics. I'm sorry, but I guess it's
no,
the
it's
other
not
thing.
semantics. No. This is not semantics, bro. This is you have an effect, right?
Yeah.
Cause and effect relationship in science, correct?
Yes. Forces. Yes.
Okay, so if you have an effect of 9.81 meters per second squared, downward
Mhm.
acceleration towards the negatively charged Earth, well, we can leave the negative part out of it, towards the
Mhm.
Earth, right?
Yeah.
You have to verify cause. That's
Well,
just simple thing, right?
I think you can verify it through formula of the force equals gravity, or not
F
gravity,
equals
gravitational
ma.
pull.
F
No,
equals ma. Again,
no,
you're
m plus
just
m over r squared. No, that's a gravitational pull
okay.
formula.
So big G, right?
Yeah, so
That
that
still doesn't prove cause.
I think it
They
proves that
both.
when
They
you,
both. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it proves that mass attracts mass.
Even if that's true,
Hmm.
right? Even if mass attracts mass, which we're all the way back in 1666 right now. You realize that, right? Like, we're not actually talking about the current understanding of gravity, but even if mass attracts mass, that doesn't mean the Earth is a sphere.
Well, I think if we say that there is a sense of contingence on mass attracting mass, um, if the Earth was a flat disk, then everything will be pulling to the middle.
What evidence do we have that gravity pulls towards the center point?
Well, we have a
When mass in and of itself, I tried to explain this to a friend of mine the other day, right? Because she's kind of getting into flat Earth. So if mass on the molecular level is made of atoms, right? Individual charged particles, right?
sure.
Why would the ones at the center have more gravitational pull than the ones that make up the entire rest of the mass? Would it not be the combination of the mass itself that would have the pulling effect? Why would it be the center? Does that make sense? Like, what evidence do we have that gravity pulls towards the center point? We just assume that
Well, I mean,
because we
like,
assume everything in the sky is a ball,
mm,
basically.
I mean, like we can even talk about even on atoms and how they fluctuate. Bohr's model shows that there's literal neutrons with some mass that are attracting to the middle. like to the actual core of the
Dude, you know
like.
we don't have like actual evidence of atoms to begin with, right? It's just
Yeah, we talk more about
um
waves now.
really?
Yeah,
In
like
what
they
regard?
changed it, huh?
In what regard?
Like they changed it to
I'm trying to get
like
this nose, or I'm trying to get this like finger away from my nose because it bugs me. Like this finger right here keeps like
yeah.
going right to where my nose is, and I don't like that. So that's why I keep moving the camera around, but I can't put it anywhere where it's not doing that. TikTok really wants me to turn my camera on. It won't let me not do it with like anyway. My bad, brother.
No, you're good.
Waves. Continue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like the model we have now for like atoms is apparently in this like electromagnetic wavelength thing. I don't have too much information to like explain it fully,
Interesting.
but because it kind of talks about like quantum physics and how like we can't really attest for like what atom or what actual neutron or electron is actually there.
Well, no, of course not. That's what
Yeah,
atoms really are. It's just a combination of like protons and
right,
neutrons and such, right? So
right,
that's what we measure. Like if you look at the periodic table, that's what you're measuring, right?
right. But I
And that's what
mean,
we had to quantify those things somehow,
mhm,
right? So we had to give them a name, and we had to give it something to attribute a value to be able to be quantified. That's it. It's just it's
right.
all theoretical. It's all entirely theoretical on a small scale, like mass.
I
I guess I've
mean,
made my point.
yeah, but I mean, like, to a degree, I do understand what you're saying, but there is, even with the periodic table, like, it's a very small difference between different elements and carbons, nitrogens, and da 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 that comes down to the atom level that shows a substantial difference. But
So
for sure, like, I agree that there is like theoretical um probabilities in
well,
it too.
it's all theoretical, really, brother. I mean, not the protons and neutrons, right? Like that's not
Yeah.
theoretical, but the idea of an atom.
Oh,
Like
like
if
the
you Google
placement and
pictures of
everything. Oh yeah,
well, no,
yeah.
if you just Google pictures of atoms, like of course we don't have like physical evidence of them.
Right,
That's my
right.
only argument. So like we've delved pretty far away from the object in question. You know what I
My
mean? So
bad.
it's like no, I don't mind it. Evidence that the earth is curving, maybe?
Uh
Anything?
not gonna lie, dude. Um I can't give you like without like drawing it out myself, like I can't
Drawing it out
really
how? How would you do so?
probably use trigonometry.
Well, yeah,
Like, like off the
that would be
tangent.
helpful.
Yeah, off the
But do you know the average rate of curvature on Earth?
I think it's like 8. Is it 8 miles per it's not 8.
Smaller.
Smaller?
8
6?
inches. 8
8
inches per
inches.
mile squared.
Oh, okay.
8
Yeah,
inches
yeah,
per
yeah.
mile squared, which is an exponential parabolic approximation drawn from a
Right.
tangent.
So it's supposed to be as you go further like up
Mhm.
in like X or no Y that you should be able to see more curve or something like that.
Sorry, I was laughing at the chat. Yeah, it dropped from your feet, right? Of course, it would be
Mhm.
curving down. So every mile outward, it would increase exponentially.
Oh,
And proportionately.
my bad, dude. I gotta go.
Yeah,
But
when people want to talk about the object in question, they never stay.
oh,
That's
I
fair.
mean, like,
But it was
no,
a good
I mean,
conversation, bro. I'm fucking with
yeah, I
you.
was about to say, dude. I feel like we were having a good conversation.
No, you're probably my best guest so far tonight, but it's
Okay.
fine. Just like next time, if you get a chance to talk to a flat earther, like talk about the actual Earth, if you don't mind. We don't
Right,
like
no,
you
and
talking about shit that doesn't actually prove anything. It's
I
annoying.
understand that, but I respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Very,
likewise,
very
brother.
smart dude. All right,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, man. You too. Peace, brother.
Yeah.
Peace. Hey guys, a Globey respects me. Can you believe it? That's like 1 out of a dozen, at least, maybe 100. I gained a Glober's respect this evening. What an incredible! I'm gonna put that on my resume. Globies respect me. What's up, David? Do
How's
you
it
respect
going?
me?
Sure. I just hopped on
That's
here.
2 in a
I didn't
row.
get a chance to hear too much of what you said so far, but I guess my
I'll
biggest
start
question is trying to understand where you're coming from on the Earth
where I'm
being
coming
flat.
from. Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's observably flat. We don't see curvature. We
oh yeah,
don't
yeah. I mean,
and we
from what
don't
we can,
experience motion. That's the fundamentals of it. Like if nobody told you the Earth was a ball, it's hard to believe that we would organically come to that conclusion, you know?
100%. So, I mean, I'm sure you obviously believe in airplanes and that they fly and that sort of thing. What it
Wait, they do? No
could
fucking
we use? And I'm guessing I'm guessing that number one, you believe in it. Number two, do you believe we've ever? I guess you don't believe that we've ever circumnavigated the globe.
What? Why would I not believe in circumnavigation? You can circumnavigate anything with a circumference, brother. Circumference is not specific to three
So when
dimensions.
they did this, 1933, do you believe that they were just going along the outside edge, along the circumference?
Why would they be so far? Why would they be so close to Antarctica? Why would they do that?
Well, I mean,
No, I mean
they
it's like
They
if you
traveled. Well, the
let's
first one
just
anyway
let's
traveled
just let's
east in the same direction the whole time.
okay, you're not gonna shush. Just hear me out, brother. If you take a compass, right, and you draw a circle on a piece of paper, right, that's your little flat disc, right? Call that flat Earth. And you put a magnet in the middle of that circle, right at the bullseye of it, and you move that compass around. It's always going to point north. No matter where you put that compass, right? It's always going to point towards the magnetic north, which would be at the center. So that's essentially how you would circumnavigate going east or west. The funny part is that we've never circumnavigated going north to south or vice versa. We've never flown down from the North Pole around Antarctica and come back up, or any other way. We've only ever circumnavigated east to west, which
So,
is
in
done
your
the
opinion,
exact
maybe
way that I just.
the plane just went in a big circle, is what you think?
That's not my opinion. That is objectively what happens. But yes.
Okay. Do you think? Let me ask you this: based off of the size of the flat Earth, that you believe in the size, how
I
long
don't
do you
know the
think it?
size.
You don't know the size.
No. Why would I? I'm not God, brother. I didn't make it.
So you don't know how long it would take. You got no estimation for how long it would take a plane to take either one trip or multiple trips to get to actually see an edge. My question is why don't you
Why?
think
Well, no. Hold on. We're not
we've
allowed to
ever seen
travel
an edge?
past the 60th south latitude, like independently. So, this whole like edge argument, can we stop that? That's kind of silly. I didn't claim that there was an edge to the Earth. The Earth could be infinite for all I know. They tell you that the universe is infinite, and you believe that
I'm
full-handedly,
just looking
right?
at
Like
your
even
model. I mean, your
you're
model
not
shows
looking at
an
my
edge.
model. You're looking at a fucking picture that I got from Google Images to draw your attention. That's what you're looking at, and you're
Okay,
attributing that to my character in a straw man fashion. I don't appreciate that, brother. So we're gonna drop the idea of an edge just for the moment.
there is no edge.
Really, the object. I said we're gonna drop the idea of an edge.
Okay.
Okay, brother. It's a silly little like because you watched Looney Tunes when you were a kid and you saw boats go over a waterfall at the edge of the Earth, and you think that's what flat earthers
Well, I
think because
mean,
we have to be stupid.
you
Go
you
ahead.
brought up the idea of there not being an edge, which means that it would be an infinite Earth. That
Right,
idea
and then I
doesn't make
and then I
sense.
wanted to remind you before you did a special pleading fallacy that you believe in galaxies and universes that are infinite.
Yes.
Okay, so we have two things that could be potentially infinite, and we both have. I'm not saying that it is or isn't. Your model claims that the universe is infinite. My model is open
Well,
and
the
open-ended.
Earth is
We are
the Earth is a
admitting
planet within the universe, though, within the galaxy, within the universe. Like
Okay, let's talk about
the
space
Earth
then.
isn't
First,
infinite.
let's talk about space, brother. How do you have a vacuum directly in contact with a pressurized atmosphere for all of time and entropy does not occur? How does that happen?
Why are you saying the entropy isn't occurring?
Because if entropy were to occur, it would be instantaneous. We would lose our atmosphere within an instant. Entropy is violent. Like if you poke a hole in a tire, the air in the tire doesn't take its time coming out. It just seeks entropy instantly. If I open a soda can, the carbon dioxide does not take its time. It doesn't smell the roses. It just right out. You know what I mean? That's called entropy. It's instantaneous. It's violent.
What is it?
So if we have
What
a
does this have to
breathable,
do
are
with?
you gonna interrupt me every time I'm about to make a really good point, or are we gonna have a conversation like adults?
Okay.
That's what's
Go
going
for
on,
it.
brother. Okay. So if we have a breathable atmosphere here on Earth that's pressurized, that means that it has to be contained somehow. Mainly just because gas pressure as a whole requires mainly because gas pressure as a whole requires a containment. You can't name one thing on Earth that is pressurized gas without an actual physical container. But beyond that, even more so, you certainly cannot just have pressurized gas existing next to a low pressure system such as a vacuum. That's completely impossible. It cannot be recreated. It's a fairy tale, brother.
Okay, so I disagree with you there. I don't believe
I know.
that our atmosphere is pressurized. I believe that the reason why we
Wait. Did you hold on? Did you
Can I
just say
get
you
my
don't believe the atmosphere? Oh, just repeat that. Repeat that first part. I missed it. What did you say? That you don't believe the atmosphere is pressurized?
I'm saying that I don't believe that we're in a closed system like you're saying it
That's
is.
not the way you phrased it though. You just said you don't believe the atmosphere is pressurized, bro.
I'm not saying that pressure doesn't exist within the atmosphere. I'm just trying to explain that we have more air pressure down here than there is up if you go up to 10,000 feet, for example. There's less
Okay.
air up there. There's less air
How
particles.
do you what is gas pressure? Like what is gas pressure in your own words? You don't have to give me like a textbook definition. Just like
Once
what is gas
I think
pressure?
about gas pressure, I think of gas density. So I think of it's the mass divided by the volume.
Fair, but like
Within a
what
measured
makes
space.
okay, so I guess maybe the answer that I'm looking for, I'll just meet you halfway. Gas pressure is measured, PSI, right? Is measured by the force exerted on its container. That's how we measure PSI. Like when you measure the PSI of your tires and you get 30 PSI, can we do something about the echo maybe? That's the force exerted on the valve stem itself. That 30 PSI is 30 pounds per square inch being exerted onto the valve stem, and then when you press that thing in and you relieve the air, it comes out at roughly 30 psi, and that's what gives you a measurement of air pressure, gas pressure within the tire itself. So when we take barometers and we measure 14.7 psi at sea level, that has to be physically exerted from something else.
Right. So you're bringing up a closed system every time. You're bringing up a tire.
My argument is in regards to a closed system, sir.
Right. So you're arguing that there's some sort of containment that contains all of our atmosphere. I'm
arguing that gas pressure can't exist without a physical container in any small scale. Why would it exist on the large scale? And my real argument is, how do you have gas pressure in contact with a vacuum since the beginning of time?
Let me ask you this then.
Entropy occurring.
Because
You have to ask me a
again,
question.
we're in a closed system. Do you believe that the pressure of air at sea level is more than the pressure of air at 10,000?
Do I believe in a pressure gradient? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but the problem with that is it's still pressurized. And you can have a pressure gradient in a soda can if you shake it up. So we're really still trying to figure out how you put gas pressure inside of a vacuum that is, by your own admittance, infinite, and entropy never occurs. How does that work?
That's why you have less air pressure, less pressure up there, and more.
Is he understanding me, guys? Is he getting what I'm dropping? Is he mopping what I'm spilling? What's going on, guys? Is he understanding the argument, or?
I'm not agreeing with you in saying that the atmosphere has a big container around it that's
I didn't ask you to agree with me, buddy. I asked you to explain to me how you can have gas pressure inside of a vacuum. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, you understand that a vacuum means that there'd be no gas in it, right?
Not necessarily, no. It's just small. It's like 10 to the negative 17th torr at the most extreme.
Let's look at even a simple thing. You might even have it in your kitchen. Like if you go and get I
have a vacuum in my kitchen?
Yeah.
Technically. I mean, that's the vacuum cleaner, which is still technically true, but...
I'm not talking about vacuum cleaner. I'm talking about those
same thing.
those containers that you can put food into, and you pull all of the air out. You create a vacuum.
Yeah.
So obviously this isn't a vacuum because we have gas.
Listen, brother. when you shake a soda can and you open it up, why does it rise out? Why does carbon dioxide shoot out violently? Why does that happen?
Because the carbon dioxide was dissolved in a liquid, and after you shake it out, it disrupts that, and the gas is released. As that gas is released, the gas is less dense than the liquid. It wants to go up.
It seeks equilibrium. It seeks equilibrium. It's seeking equilibrium with the atmosphere out here on Earth.
I don't understand how this relates to the Earth being flat. I don't get it.
Somehow we ended up talking about the firmament, David. We're on the firmament right now.
Thank you, bro. I
might have to sub in for you, Sol. You need me to sub in here?
Would you like to? You
I mean, this is the first time firmament was mentioned. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It was your entire argument almost, brother. Well, I suppose
my argument.
Let's do a okay, let's talk at the same time. You want to talk at the same time? Well, that'll bring in all the viewers. Everybody will stay and listen to that shit. My argument was that you cannot have pressurized gas inside of a vacuum. And I asked you to explain that to me.
No, because
I'm
telling you, I don't think we have the same definition of a vacuum.
It doesn't matter. It's a vacuum, brother.
There's no gas at all in a vacuum. That's not what either of us is saying.
So the pressurized atmosphere here on Earth would seek equilibrium with the vacuum of space.
A vacuum is something that's devoid of any matter, right?
I know that. I'm aware of that, David. I get that. We've established that.
So you're asking
and
how
like I don't think there's a single person watching that doesn't understand that. I agree with you. That's actually part of my argument. If you're not keeping up, brother. My argument is that please.
If we put a pressurized system, like we get two contained systems, we make one a vacuum and we put a bunch of gases in the other one, and we have a valve that is mediating the two, and we create both the pressurized systems, and the non-pressure system, right, the vacuum, and then we open that valve, what's going to happen?
The gas will be released.
It's going to seek equilibrium with the vacuum, right? It's going to fill the vacuum, right?
With the exception that you're not thinking about gravity, though. The reason why you have no gas.
No.
That's actually so funny because it's the word that I've been trying to get you to say this whole time.
I know how to pull it out of them, Dave. I know how to pull them out, so.
Well, why don't I ask you guys this? Why do you think that there's
let's shift the burden
at sea level than at 10,000 feet?
Because everything seeks equilibrium, and we live in a dynamic system with constant temperature changes and pressure differentials happening.
Right, but if it was true equilibrium and gravity had nothing to do with it,
there is no such thing as true equilibrium.
Okay, so wouldn't you have the same amount of particles at 10,000 feet than you would at sea level if there were no gravity?
Is the temperature the same at 10,000 feet?
No, and the reason for that is that
Are you familiar with Boyle's law?
Yeah, the reason for that is that there's less heat up there.
Yeah, so if the temperature gets colder, the pressure would drop accordingly. It's proportionate. I forget Boyle's law off the top of my head, but I understand the basics, right? Like, if the temperature drops the pressure will drop relatively, right? And so on and so forth, and reverse versa, rather. So that explains the pressure differential. That explains the density gradient of the atmosphere. I understand that. You're negating the fact that it's still pressurized, brother. That's the problem. It's still a pressurized atmosphere existing in a vacuum. We can't recreate that. We can't put that on a small scale. We can't do it in a lab. I've never even seen it done in a cartoon, bro.
All right. If what you're saying is correct, and if you were going to use the analogy that you brought up, right, with the tire,
Oh, sure.
and you're pumping air into the tire, right? In this case, the tire being the Earth and the entire atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree that within that tire, it's pretty much the same pressure?
It's a very small scale and at the same temperature. Is half of the tire 50 degrees colder?
Do you understand? Do you understand what temperature is?
David,
It's the average movement of
just
molecules.
laugh at yourself. That was silly. Okay,
If
just
you
laugh
got,
at yourself, brother.
if
Do you
you have,
have do you want to try to talk about curvature or motion? Perhaps do you want to try to prove that the Earth is curving? Maybe.
I'm curious to ask you what you think is on the edge of the Earth.
And I'm curious to know if you have evidence for your religious cultic worldview that you subscribe to without evidence of.
I'm curious to know what's on the edge of the universe,
I
David.
was talking to someone recently that said that they said it's the Arctic Circle, just surrounds the whole thing. And are you part of that same flat
Antarctica
Earth
would be
group?
a wall of ice, regardless of whether it was on a ball or not, bro. It's still a very highly elevated continent that is covered in ice. So it
Wall
would
of ice.
essentially be
It's
an
gonna
ice
be
wall, regardless of you interrupting me every time I talk and regardless of what model you put it on.
okay. So do you subscribe to that model?
No, I don't subscribe to a model. I don't need a model of the Earth, dude. I've been living on it for 30 years, actively measuring it for 10. It's not curving. That's why I'm asking you to provide evidence that it is, because I couldn't find curve, brother. Like, I don't know where it is. What kind of car do you drive, brother?
Maserati Levante?
Do you need a small scale Hot Wheels of a Maserati to drive the car that's in your driveway or your garage?
No, and I can function on this
Okay,
Earth.
so you don't need a model of the Earth to live on it, right?
No.
Oh, so you can just go out and perform experiments and then maybe develop a model once you have a better understanding of it,
Mhm.
right?
Well, I mean they've been doing experiments to figure this out for a while. I mean, but it's
Like what?
I mean, for one, they've flown around the Earth, but I can't.
That was your original. That was your opener. That was 10 minutes ago, bro. That was your opener.
They've pulled out they've pulled out telescopes and taken a look at sailboats as they sail off, and you see the bottom part disappear first. They've
Bottom up obstruction has nothing to do with physical drop off from a tangent.
been able to put.
It's not specific to that.
They've been able to put people into space, but for some reason can't find the edge. I mean, I don't buy it.
You think we went into a vacuum with 60s technologies, brother? You think
Do
we
I
went to the
think
moon?
we-
Do you think we went to the moon?
I believe we've been to the moon. Yes.
Okay.
Didn't come here to
I'm
argue.
not gonna get in. That's a deep rabbit hole to open up, and it's entire non sequitur for both of us. I'm not gonna entertain it. Do you have anything else you want to add before I move on to the next person?
No, you can move on. Appreciate your time.
All right, brother. Yeah, take it easy, man. Right? Moon landing believer. Go figure. He thinks the moon's a rock 238,000 miles away. Believes in moon landing. And it never surprises me. When you get that far into a conversation with people, typically they still think we went to the moon as well. It has a whole lot to do with it. Hey, can we maybe
I might
turn the... Go
I
ahead.
might start starting conversations with asking if people believe in the moon landing just to get a gauge of how helpful, how hopeless the conversation is or not.
Yeah, we should really start with September 11th, to be honest. Like, just to see if they've even, like, begun to question the authoritative figures.
Nah,
But
for real, dude.
really, like, have you ever looked at the sky? Like, what's following those planes? What's up, Life Utopia?
Good evening. I don't know. Good morning where I am. Where you? Well, what time is it where you are?
Doesn't time is relative. Do you have evidence that the Earth is a sphere?
I don't believe it's a sphere. I don't. It's not about belief. I know it's not a sphere. It's
What
flat.
are you
There's
doing
no
here,
question
man?
about it.
What are you doing? You're doing the wrong thing. You're in the wrong life, brother.
No, I wanted to talk to the other dude actually, to be honest, but he's gone now.
I don't know what he just said. I didn't catch that. Think maybe he's had a little, noise. Okay, Pat. Pat's a working man. What's up? We see you? Yeah, TikTok made me turn my camera on. It said, gave me like a thing. It said like if I have like a still image up for too long, it it affects the FYP. Apparently, we're on the FYP, guys. Isn't that crazy? Thank this guy down here, by the way. Caleb's the freaking goat. What's up, Pat? Teacupping in the beginning of the conversation. It's brilliant. That's a great way to provide evidence that the Earth is a sphere. Just don't do it at all. Let you up. People who spam that in my comments typically don't provide anything of substance if I do that, but I can make you wait longer. Is that okay? Nice to finally see you. I usually don't do the camera, not because like I don't want to, but I know like what happens to people who do. Like if anybody's ever seen like Fred, like there's some Globers that took like Fred's face and made like a whole AI thing out of it. It's like people are fucked up individuals, but for the sake of this one time, I guess you guys are rude. Okay, we're gonna talk to Dakota. She called me rude. Conversation's off to a great start. Hello.
By saying hi?
Did you say hi? I don't know. I didn't really. You
Yeah,
said
I
let
said
me up like
hello.
14 times. Yeah, you said let me up like 15 times. And I said people who typically begin the conversation that way don't usually come up here with anything like valuable. But you could be the exception to the rule. So
Well,
give you
let's
an
find
opportunity
out.
here.
Tell me why you
Yeah,
believe in a
let's do
flat
that.
Earth.
I don't really believe it. I just know it's not a sphere. It can't be a sphere. It's not curving. Do you have evidence that it's curving?
We can demonstrate curvature from Earth without having to leave it.
How do we do that?
Okay, well, I mean, have you heard of, oh my god, what's his name? Eratosthenes?
Yeah. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
I've heard that one before.
Sticks and shadows?
Sticks and shadows. Yep. How many sticks?
Yeah. 2 between a
Really?
city
Because
near the
you need
equator
at least
and
3.
one in a different hemisphere.
You need at least 3, according to
Why would you
like what
need
you're
3?
taught. And do you use Euclidean geometry or non-Euclidean?
I don't do geometry.
Oh, okay. What was the elevation discrepancy from Egypt to Greece?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you see how these would be like important things to focus on if we were going to address Eratosthenes and reference something from 500 BC? You know,
Why would
like
the
we should at
elevation
least
affect
like
the shadow?
you can't answer that yourself?
No. Can you?
Take it away, Caleb.
Is that a no? What?
I
keep
didn't
trying to
expect to
freaking
have
throw
to.
up a picture and I can't.
I didn't
So
expect
stupid.
to have to. Like that was a random question that really has no basis here. Can you repeat
So
that back to me? No, go ahead, bro.
Why would elevation affect the length of a shadow?
Yeah, there you go. Because you've
can I add
changed the
something, Dakota?
object. Yes.
What?
Have you ever seen the math that Eratosthenes did?
No, I just know he stuck sticks in grounds and measured the distance of the
Mhm.
shadow in
Mhm.
different parts of the world at the same time of
So
day.
yeah, so you could go into your kitchen right now and go to your table and put a local light source over it and 2 dominoes on each side of the light source and you'll get shadows and you could do the calculations and get the circumference of that table.
Yeah. If you assume non-Euclidean trig.
He
So
didn't.
essentially
Yeah,
what
okay.
what I'm
But he
hoping that
didn't
you'll
just get the
do
circumference. He also determined it was a sphere because the shadows were different lengths at different points on the globe.
the same thing would be expected on a flat Earth model. The
Why?
only thing that he did was assume the Earth had 360 degrees in circumference and then divide the shadows by that. That's all that he did. So he just assumed the Earth
Wait,
was a
why would
sphere
the
and did
same
some
thing
math.
be expected on a flat
I'm
Earth?
gonna explain that. So if you take, like he said, you put a bunch of dominoes. You can use as many as you want, to be honest. And you put them on your table, and you take your cell phone flashlight and you move it around that table. You can just measure the shadows that way, and you can do the same math. And as you move the light, the shadows are gonna change.
See the photo below?
Yeah, if you change the what do you call it? The angle of the light, the shadows will increase in length or decrease, but they won't deviate from one another. They'll be the same across the dominoes.
Do you have the ability to envision what I just described?
Yes, I just
Like
envisioned
picture
You
it.
don't
I'm
have
telling
to.
you.
It's right.
like
It's in my right here. I have it up. The picture. This is how it works.
yeah, and you just move the light source. And if what is a shadow, Dakota?
Yeah, the dominoes aren't that far away from a flashlight though.
It
Neither
depends
is
on
the
how
sun.
high
The
up you hold the
sun's
flashlight, Dakota.
yeah, the sun's not yeah, that's actually very important. The sun's not 93 million miles away either. So
Mm-hmm.
do you think it is? Do you think the sun how far away do you think the sun is,
I
Dakota? Maybe I shouldn't have given you the
well, I
answer.
don't know. I'm not an
You don't know. You
astrophysicist,
just
but I would align my I would align with
you
them
just
on the issue.
Put me
so
back in the
just
box.
appeal to authority basically.
Well, appeal to experience.
There's the math.
Still fallacious.
Sure.
So all he did was assume the Earth was a ball, and then, yeah, divided the shadow length. That's it. The degree. That's all
I
he
wonder
did.
how he communicated with someone
Why was he so accurate?
because math works.
There's no
We're
being
not we're
But
accurate
not
on
he
a
was
big
wrong about
ball.
it being a sphere. Why was he wrong about it being a sphere if he was right about the circumference?
because he assumed that's why I asked you if you knew the difference between Euclidean geometry and non-Euclidean.
I don't.
Because if you assume non-Euclidean, you're already giving it 3 dimensions. Which is what he did.
Solly, I'm gonna drop down
Okay.
and probably start my own live, buddy. This has been good.
It's been awesome, bro. Much love.
I appreciate you, bro. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, later, bro. So do you I don't know what else to say. I mean, you
Well, I
you
want
looked
to know
up
why
the
you're
word
using physics to disprove physics, though.
that
Like,
isn't physics.
why do
That's
you
math.
not believe?
Math is hold on, just that
Yeah,
is
well, in
geometry,
our
miss. That
conversation,
wasn't
but I was here for several conversations, and you've been consistently using
do you
science
expect
to
me to
disprove
use
science.
Yeah, do you expect me to use botany to disprove physics or medical science? What should I do? How should I do it?
Well,
How
because
do I have
I
a
mean,
scientific
I am not a
discussion without
physicist,
being
but I would
Yeah, no,
assume that
clearly
all of the models are accurate within the realm. So why, like, I don't. It just is so contradictory. It's like when Christians use biology to try and debunk biology, and it doesn't make any sense.
I think I don't think there's really another way to do it. If you're going to have a scientific discussion, you should bring up science. That's pretty important. It's part of the actual core of the conversation itself.
Do you believe in
If that has to
evolution?
be Of course not. Chandra Wickerman Singh estimated that the likelihood of a single-celled organism evolving into all of what we see now was off by like a factor with 40,000 zeros after it. So no, I think that's statistically and just like ontologically impossible. If you want to believe that monkeys are your ancestors, then please, by all means. But I believe that we were put here by a creator because everything else in nature was
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Thanks. Anything else?
Well, yeah, so like, okay, again, going back to why we can observe it's a globe from Earth. If you were to watch a ship sail off
Why
into
do
the
we have to
horizon,
go? So just Bill Nye's VHS tape from 7th grade. That's where we're going next.
yeah.
That's okay. Did you know that like sometimes boats disappear before they reach the horizon on foggy days? Like you don't even have a horizon, the boat just disappears.
Yeah, but how do you account for the instances where the bottom disappears before the sails?
Have you ever tried to zoom in on the boat with a powerful camera and bring it back into view?
Have
after it
you?
disappears entirely? Personally,
have
no,
you?
but I've seen a lot of videos of that, and they're very interesting. There's far too many to just hand wave dismiss that, and what you're doing is essentially called special pleading, again, because you're just like, oh, have you done it? Like, I asked you the question. That's a very silly
Well,
way to retort an intellectual forum.
yeah, but I trust scientists. I don't trust you, so I want to know what
Do
you
you
have seen and what you have interpreted from those
you
observations.
trust scientists like as a whole? So when I brought
Okay,
up
Josh.
Chandra Wickerman Singh, you didn't seem to trust his opinion on evolution. Why don't you trust him?
I have no idea who he is.
Right. Name 3 scientists that prove that the Earth was a sphere, please.
I don't know. I don't have any.
So you trust people that you've never met whose names you don't even know? That's called an appeal to anonymous authority. It's a very, very, very weak way of arguing this.
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
Okay. Yeah, why is it that on a flat Earth, the sun is able to consistently light up one hemisphere at a time?
That's actually not how it works if you knew anything about cosmology at all. Like the path of the sun is what's called an analemma. It travels between the tropics. We can take angular measurements of it regardless of shape and attribute it to any model of your choosing. Well, as long as it's like 360 degrees, I suppose. But then again, you can have 360 degrees in a trapezoid, so we're not really proving anything with that. What was your question again? The sun, why doesn't it light
Why
up the entire
isn't
Earth?
the
That's because it's a small local light
yeah.
source. That's why, like, when the sun moves behind a cloud, you can feel the degree shift in the air. When the sun moves behind the clouds and it gets noticeably and physically colder instantly almost, you think that's coming from how far away did you say the sun was again?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
But wait, okay. What do you have to prove that the Earth is flat?
All of human infrastructure, all of aviation, the natural fluid
What?
mechanics of water, all of aviation. Is that too many syllables? I'm sorry. It means when airplanes fly and the mechanics that they use engineeringly, like in terms of engineering.
Why are you talking down to me like I'm stupid?
Well, you haven't demonstrated intelligence yet.
You mean I haven't demonstrated being informed on a subject that you specifically are passionate about, and that makes me innately stupid? That's fucking weird. That's a weird observation. You're
Well,
not very good at thinking, are you?
You're the one who
You're not a
chose to come
critical
up here.
thinker.
You're the one who chose to come up here and engage in a topic that you knew nothing about. Admittedly.
Yeah, I have an open mind. I'm very curious. I'm a curious person. I'm open to new experiences. And you are very much dissuading me against being a flat earther.
By giving you too much evidence that the Earth's on a globe?
No, by being such a condescending prick.
Okay. So, if airplanes don't adjust for curvature of the Earth, how can the Earth be a sphere?
They do, though.
How?
What do you mean? Like,
Okay, we're
I
done.
mean, the paths they take are
You're
not a straight line.
the paths that they take, those are flight paths, miss. That's not actual physical compensation for curvature. That was cute though. That was an adorable attempt. We're gonna do one more, and we're gonna go to Caleb's live. What's up, Joshua?
Not much. What's up with you, man?
What's up, brother? You have evidence that the Earth is a sphere?
I mean, like, literally everybody says it is. People have been to
I
the
don't see
moon,
evidence.
looks at it. Can I see your nails real fast?
Yeah, you've already been wrong at least once.
Wow, I am actually amazed those aren't painted. Your neck beard is insane, and I'm wondering if that's
not a neck
what gets
beard.
to your.
You
Yeah, I know
do you
you
need to get your
shaved
eyes
the part
checked,
of
brother?
that. I mean, your beard doesn't grow
I
past your
shaved it.
chin.
I shaved it mid live. Are you dumb? Oh my god, get out of here, brother. Just insult my character right away and be wrong about my character and my appearance every step of the way. That's insane. Nice. You guys understand why I don't turn the camera on? People always try to I'm surprised he didn't point this out. Am I a bad guy because I have a tattoo on my face? Am I not able to discuss science intricately? Am I not have appeal to majority? Yeah, what a clown. All right, that was fun. I'm glad we waited for him. Do you guys want to know the funniest part? He waited down there the entire conversation with the last guest, the Dakota. He waited down there that entire time. He was requesting the entire time just to come up here and ask me if my nails were painted because he's looking for a boyfriend. So there's a single little Glober in the chat who appeals to authority anonymously if anybody is interested. He's not educated on plane flight. Immediate shallow projections. Yeah. Can't believe you showed him my nails. He asked me to. I got nothing to hide, bro. They're a little long. They need to be trimmed, but I think he mistook the tattoos on my hands for nail paint. Which, if you're paying that much attention to my hands, brother, I'm not the problem. That's you. Joshua has a husband already. Yeah. Okay, this was fun. Shout out to Caleb. 99, well, maybe not 99. I'd say maybe like at least 50% of you guys would not be here if it wasn't for Caleb. And I don't mind that. I give props where it's due, dude. The dude's a freaking, he's a brainiac, bro. The dude really is an entertainer. He's amazing. And I'm glad to have him as a friend. So I appreciate you guys. He's starting his live, so I'm just gonna get out of the way and hop on over there myself. Hopefully I see you guys there. Caleb is indeed the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT. When I first, well, not when I first got into Flat Earth, but when I first started watching like debates on Flat Earth, he was one of the people that I watched. Austin Whitsitt. There were quite a few people that I used to watch when I first got into like watching actual debates on the topic. And if you guys want to get better at debate, I strongly suggest you do that. Debating is not necessarily about knowing everything. It's about knowing like what questions to ask and how to respond to questions. It really doesn't have a lot to do with it. You have to know some of your stuff. You have to know enough. But really, if you can, it's like chess. You just have to like kind of be a step ahead of your opponent. And it's pretty easy when Globers have like 17 talking points and they all suck. Pretty easy to be ahead of them because you know what they're going to say anyway, right? They're going to ask you why boats disappear bottom up, or why we have sunsets, or why it's not daylight, why do time zones exist, explain gravity. It's all the same stuff. So it doesn't take much to get like ahead of them in that regard. And then it's just a matter of kind of like steering the conversation. I was on the fence until Caleb. I do an amazing job too. Yeah, I'm pretty smart. I've been a flat earther for 10 years, so I know enough. I do think Caleb's better. He's definitely done more research than me, but it's not a pissing contest. I'm not here to dispute that. And I give him credit like where it's due, bro. He's definitely better than me. I personally think that's a fact. Don't discredit myself. No, I would never. I'm pretty wise and intelligent myself, and I've also done a decent amount of research, but. Anyway, if you guys want like good research, I do strongly suggest Austin Whitsitt. I know there's like some controversy around him ever since Antarctica, like I get that. But if you go back before Antarctica and watch his older debates or any of his older content back when he was like 100% flat earth or 100% into this, like it was like, it's a really incredible, it's super easy to learn from that guy too. You can just rewatch his videos. That's what I used to do. Very smart. Thanks, guys. There's no better between flat earthers. Yeah, he's really good. Austin Whitsitt's awesome. So chill and witty. Yeah, I do have a lot of wit. I love when people come up here and try to like just make me look stupid or something, because it's always like I take that's more of a challenge, like arguing against that, like the guy who just insulted my appearance. Like that's more of a challenge than the globe arguments. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like more mentally challenging. It's like, how do I retort to this? Like that's part of it's more challenging than retorting the globe arguments, because the globe arguments are just like repetitive. Like I've done that a billion times. The comebacks for their physical attacks, like not physical, their attacks on my character are actually harder to come up with. But I'm pretty good at that too. It was nice to see your face. Yeah, don't get used to it. I don't typically do it. The only reason I did it was because TikTok gave me like this notification. It said like because I was in the FYP. I don't know if I still am. I doubt it. But it gave me this notification that said like, because I have a still image up, which is what I normally do. Which I maybe just go to doing this. I don't know. Maybe I'll just start doing this. I don't really mind. But it said that like I could get removed from the FYP if I don't make motions on the camera or something. It asked me to like flip my camera on, and the live was going so well that I just did it. You know what I mean? Like, why? It's such a simple ask, right? It's not like it's asking me for my credit card information, right? So it is weird. Yeah, it is a little strange, but honestly, I think it was worth it, and I got nothing to hide. I've had people ask me if I was AI before. because I don't show my face. People have asked me if I was AI, so now you guys know I'm not AI. At least, you know, probably not, right? Walleye? I don't know what that is. But yeah, we're gonna, first time you've seen me, if you go to, I think it's my backup account, my all the way down, like there's videos of my face on there too. But they're older, like that most people haven't seen my face. Because I know that like people will take pictures of your face and they'll make them like your profile picture, or or they'll make them their profile picture rather, or they'll make like videos out of them with like deep fake and shit, you know. It's, I don't like that. Like I never wanted to take that risk. I still don't. And I also have had on multiple occasions people have come in here and typed my real name, which of course is not something that I really disclose on the internet. And people have typed my real name. People have used old pictures of me from like my Instagram accounts and my Facebook accounts as their profile pictures. Like weird shit. People do weird shit on this platform. So there's a lot of reasons not to really show your face on here much. But to each their own. I personally don't really like doing it just because of all the negative things that can come with it. But honestly, it is something of a compliment too when people do that, because it's like, how far did you have to go to find a picture of me? You know what I mean? Like how far out of your way, how much time did you spend like looking for a picture of me so that you could use it as your own profile picture and then pretend to be me just to come to my live and get exposed immediately, I guess. Like I don't fully understand that, but creepy. Yeah. It's the internet though, dude. These guys think the earth's moving. I don't really put anything past them. You know, they think we came from monkeys and shit. We're flying to a vacuum with propulsion somehow. Like they don't think straight, so I don't really give them much credit. Anyway, if Caleb's live, head on over there. I'll probably jump in there in maybe a couple minutes. I gotta stretch my legs a little bit. Sitting down like this, I sit Indian style when I do lives on my computer in front of me. And by the end of it, my legs are like tight and I can't really, like I have to get up and move them around. So I'll probably be a couple minutes. I might make coffee or something, but I'll be there soon. Remember that one guy had a picture of you? Yeah, that was from when I was like a minor too. I think that's like, it's extremely creepy, but like also very funny because I don't think he knows that that's like a 16 or 17-year-old version of me. How did he get it? There's a couple like Instagram accounts that I don't really have access to anymore because I forget the logins. And I'd imagine it's from one of those. My real name is not that difficult to find because there's a link to my PayPal in my bio. And it has my real name in there, and I think that's where people get it. I don't know where else they would get it, to be honest, because even most of the flat earthers don't know my real name. But outside of that, I don't know. I guess you just search for my real name and like probably some Instagram accounts. I don't know. I don't search myself on the internet. I don't have that big of a fucking ego. But it probably isn't that hard to figure that kind of stuff out or to do it. So maybe they didn't put that much time into it, but it's a lot more time than I would ever put into anything, you know, for the sake of like pretending to be a Glober. Globers are weird, bro. But yeah, thank you guys for, dude, this is incredible. I have 60,000 likes. That's fucking crazy. I've seen these numbers before solo. I'll say this to the people who are still here. I don't really like having, I love having Caleb and Angels in here. I love it. Actually, it's incredible. Like last night's live was awesome because it was a lot of fun. And it's like three super intelligent flat earthers. Like, I don't know. It's just a really good vibe. But I like more doing things on my own. And I like more like doing things organically. Like you'll never really hear me ask you guys to like the live or to share it or anything like that because that's not, it seems too like gimmicky. I don't really like doing that, so I never do. And I don't really like having 100 viewers or more than that just because Caleb's here, you know, like not that doesn't, I have no animosity towards Caleb. I love that guy. And it's the same way towards angels. Like if angels was here, my viewer count would increase as well, right? But I don't like that. You know what I mean? I like to do it myself. That's the point. It's not that I don't mind having them here. It's that I don't want to like piggyback off of someone else's like success. But he's helping me out because I think truthfully my account's like in the shadow realm, to be honest. So I don't mind it at this point. But I am authentic. I think everybody's fake a little bit, but I try to be authentic. Yeah, I do try. Anyway, enough about that. Love you guys, and I'm grateful. I probably got a lot more followers tonight. Paved my own road. Yeah, mostly. Because I knew that when I first started TikTok, I saw like how other people would react when they see like Caleb or Nathan or Angels, and it's like, I don't know, they're like, oh, dude, you know, like just get all excited and shit. It's like, dude, it's just a guy. You know what I mean? It's just a guy. It's just a human being. Angels is live. Oh, yo, I'm gonna go to Angels live. I'm gonna sound like a complete fucking hypocrite, but I love Angels so much. I can't not go to his live. I know he'll let me on panel too. I'm gonna sound like such a hypocrite. I don't do it to piggyback though. I do it because Angels is actually like me and Angels have really, really, really good chemistry. We work really well together. If you guys have ever seen us, like on usually his live, mine sometimes, but like we make Clovers look so dumb when we work together, bro. We're like, I don't even have an analogy for it, bro. We're just like peanut butter and jelly. Like we just work well together, you know. It's amazing. And Caleb kind of to an extent, him and I don't have the same kind of chemistry. But we get along enough to the point where it really doesn't matter. But yeah, if Angels is live, you'll probably see me over there. Thank you guys for a great night. No. Thank you guys. Don't thank me. If anything, thank Caleb first and foremost. And you know, you don't gotta thank me, bro. I love doing this shit. Well, if you know me, you know that it's like a love-hate relationship, but I do really enjoy it. You don't have to thank me. This is fun for me on a good day. On a bad day, it's not so much fun, but that's different. Thanks for the good live. Likewise. Thank you guys for coming here. Like I say this all the time. Like if you don't have anybody to speak to, then you don't have a platform, right? Like you guys are the foundation for the platform. Like yes, I have a TikTok live. It can be called a platform, right? I don't have any type of platform unless there's people there to support the platform, right? So that's what you guys do. Without you guys, I don't have anything. So that's kind of how that works. I have to be equally as grateful, if not more so, to be honest. Anyway, I ramble. So I love you guys. I'm going to head on over to Angels. Tism's a trigger? Yeah. Well, it's not Tism necessarily. It's people that self-diagnose with Tism. Like they just give themselves autism because they're the judge, jury, and executioner, right? Like, and like willingly like diagnose with something like that. Like why would you willingly diagnose yourself of all the things? Like you could have chosen to be like anything and you chose to be autistic. Like that's just strange. I don't really agree with that. I think that alone speaks on your level of stupidity, but etards, yeah, I know what you meant. Something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going if I don't stop, and I gotta use the restroom. So I love you guys. Thank you guys sincerely again. And if Angels is live, I'll probably be over there. He might not let me up. He might want to do his solo thing too. A lot of us, we like to do things solo. Like Caleb, I know likes to do things solo. I like to do things solo. Mainly because the conversations go better if you're just one-on-one. Like that's the best way to have an actual discussion is one-on-one. Everything else just kind of makes it dysfunctional, or at least it can. And that's why I prefer to do one-on-ones as well. Angels likes to do one-on-ones a lot of the time. So that's why we do stuff like that. It's nothing personal. People take it personally, but it's not meant to be that way. It's just like it's supposed to be a discussion, and that's a one-on-one thing. It's easier that way. That's the last thing I'll say. But if he lets me up, I'll join. If not, whatever. Can't deal with a full panel. Yeah, full panels is too much. I think at the most you should have like 3 or 4 people. I don't know why you need 9 people in a room talking. Like that doesn't work in any environment, you know? Like it's just, I know, I think having a full panel boosts your algorithm more, allegedly, but I don't think it's worth it, bro, because people aren't going to be able to interpret what you're saying anyway, so what's the point? But love you guys. I'll catch you guys. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow. I'm not sure. But if I do, I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you next time I go live. So peace, everybody. Thank you guys again.